give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
After all you put me through, you think I despise you. But in the end, I want to thank you, cause you made me that much stronger. Well, I thought I knew you, thinking that you were true. I guess I couldn't trust, caught your bluff, taught me so, cause I've had enough. You were there by my side, always down for the ride. But your ride just came down in flames, cause your greed saw me out of shame. After all of the stealing and cheating, you probably think that I always am it for you. But no, you're wrong. 'Cause if it wasn't for all that you tried to do, I wouldn't know just how capable I am to pull through. So I wanna say thank you, 'cause it makes me that much stronger. Makes me work a little bit harder. It makes me that much wiser. Thanks for making me fighter. Made me learn a little bit faster. Made my skin a little bit thicker. Makes me that much smarter. Thanks for making me fighter.
Welcome in. Happy Thursday. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And tonight, we've got a full plate. From family secrets to female fighters. We're going to be serving up all the stories burning up your timeline today. So, Laila Ali, she is finally responding to Claressa Shields. And her smoke comes with receipts. So we're going to get into all of that. Momma Dee has caused a little bit of controversy. She said that at Scrappy's 14th birthday party, she brought the strippers. Yeah, you heard me right. She had the ladies taking it off for 14. So we're going to have a little conversation about males being over-sexualized early and some other things along those lines. We'll get into that. And we got a little culture rewind coming up, amongst other things. Little petty pop moment with Yung Miami and all of that. The culture never sleeps. It just refreshes for the timeline. So first up, I want to acknowledge that 30 years ago today, the Million Man March took place in Washington, D.C., right? It was October 16th, 1995, when over 1 million black men filled the National Mall in Washington, D.C. in a call for unity, accountability, and peace, right? It was organized by Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Over 1 million attendees, the largest peaceful gathering of black men in U.S. history. And, it was about family, responsibility, and rebuilding community. So 30 years later, we're still asking some of the same questions that we asked of ourselves and our men at the time about leadership, solidarity, and visibility, right? The faces may have changed, but the problems, the mission, kind of still the same, right? We just maybe use hashtags now. I don't know. So, what's crazy about it too is that a lot of today's social justice influencers don't even realize how much the Million Man March birthed that blueprint by preaching financial independence, media ownership, and self-image control. So just taking a moment to acknowledge that, before a lot of the things we see taking place, there was this call to black men to step up. And they answered the call with over 1 million. And the irony was that the Million Man March came just days after the O.J. Simpson verdict was announced. So as far as media goes, it's a lot of juxtapositions, at that time period of what the image of a black man stood for. So just wanted to, refresh. So let's talk Yung Miami and Tyla really quickly. The girls are fighting, or Yung Miami's fighting herself, I don't know, over accusations that Tyla stole Yung Miami's song, right? Spicy. So Tyla teased a new single. The basic premise is Put Me in Chanel, right? And Yung Miami is claiming that Tyla playing her unreleased music is really biting off of her new song that she was planning on dropping and teased, Buy Me Chanel. Now be clear, the songs don't sound alike, but the chorus repeating Put Me in, Buy Me Chanel, that is the general thesis of Yung Miami's statement. You stole it, right? Miami tweeted, don't matter, it's my MF song. Like, B.I., I'm confused. Tyla has yet to directly respond, but she posted promo for her song afterwards, clearly unbothered. So we'll see what happens, Deja vu, perhaps. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-9651.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Tavis Smiley with a final word here about the upcoming Left Coast Forum on Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. As you know by now, our major keynoters include Professor Richard Wolff and Dr. Cornel West. LA Mayor Karen Bass will be there as well. But listen to some of these plenaries: fighting for black students and educational equity, resilience under Trumpism, how to stay sane under fascism, the battle for democracy, what's at stake in 2026, healthcare under attack, fighting Trump's cuts, and building patient power. From seed to system, building a local food economy in South LA. Theater as a force for change. Voices from Palestine. The Constitution is not self-reinforcing. Racism on the left. Building communities of care, federal changes and their impact on healthcare in LA County. Committee for the First Amendment and more. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Of course, you know the get down. If at any point you want to get in on this conversation, 800-920-1580. Of course, you can hit us on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm personally at Stiletto Jill. I'll let you girls say hi. Download the app and jump into that YouTube chat, because the chat be chatting. You know, we love them. It's a community over there. So get into it. All right, so tonight I'm not going to be breaking down these topics alone. I have a guest. Thursday tonight, I am joined by community activist, podcaster, producer, Yolanda Davidson, The Biased Opinion on Instagram. Follow her, get into that.
Hey,
Welcome
girl, hey,
in.
girl. Hey, girl, hey, girl.
Happy Thursday.
Happiest Thursday to you.
How are you?
I am absolutely marvelous.
Right. So do you have any thoughts before we jump in on the Million Man March, Tyla and what's her name? Tyla and Yung Miami, Claressa. I almost said.
Okay, so let's go with Million Man March for 200. Million Man March, I think we should have had a reunion. I think they should have brought it back. I mean, I know it wouldn't have been the same, but 30 years, you know, I think they did something for the March on Washington when it was a 30-year reunion. Anniversary. So that would have been nice. I know the minister's older now, and maybe he wouldn't have been able to put it together.
I mean, could they have done that with the current administration?
I mean, you don't think they would have given them a permit?
I think it would have been tricky. I think it would have been almost dangerous to be out there, to do that if they would have given them the permit to begin with. But just, yeah, I don't know.
I just think it's good trouble. I think a show of solidarity right now is what we need. Absolutely.
But who leads it?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know who would be the leader. We're separated. We got the Stephen A's of the world. It's just sad. But yeah. And then the song, it reminds me of Whoop, There It Is, and Woot, There It Is. It was basically the same song, but one said woot and one said whoop. I mean, I'm sure they had different
words.
Yeah, but the hook was basically the same.
Indeed.
So, Yung Miami can feel how she feels, but neither of the songs really got a lot of traction, did they?
They haven't dropped yet. Tyla's just teasing hers. Yung Miami hasn't dropped hers yet either.
But she did have like her and Diddy was at the Chanel store one time. Wasn't that like in the back?
I think, yeah.
It was like in the background. I think it was in the background.
Yeah, but she never officially released
it.
Dropped
the song. No, she had all the Chanel bags and he was just looking like, oh my God, I can't believe I spent all this money.
Exactly. You are correct. That's right. I forgot about that. So, well, we'll see what develops.
But everybody want to go to Chanel. Marvin, hey, baby.
You telling them send you Chanel? Little Chanel gift certificate, little Chanel trip.
$9,000
in these times.
$9,000 for
we shall see. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into this Laila Ali Claressa Shields thing, because I do think it's interesting. Laila came with receipts. She came with the audio and video of everything that she is saying to lay out her argument. And I said this the other day when Claressa was on $1 Million Worth of Game, and she said that Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter, and she framed it as the oh so pretty Laila, that a lot of this is an issue of how she feels aesthetically. I mean, I think part of it is branding and putting herself out there, and you're supposed to be braggadocious and challenge the best. But I also think some of these darts and jabs has to do with the aesthetic, because if you see how Claressa has remade herself currently, it's very much given, I want to be a bad bee, an Instagram vixen, the rap guy's girly. She's giving that type of vibe. I'm not saying she didn't have some of these aspirations or habits before, but you can't deny that a lot has changed since she got with Papoose publicly. No shade, no tea. I like Claressa. She can box her butt off. But it does feel like my first relationship crush sometimes. I don't know. No shade, no tea. Don't come for me, girly. All right, so we're going to get into what Laila had to say. It's a lot, and it's a lot with her receipts, so we will be pausing and commenting and then coming back in and playing. So I'm just letting you guys know the flow and setting it up, right? Just to give you a little bit of the backstory, Laila shared and detailed the breakdown of her history actually supporting Claressa, including the interviews and posts and things that she said. She also said Claressa is being disrespectful while using her name for attention, right? And the comments, the backups, the support are coming from big platforms, not obscure ones, right? The Breakfast Club, Sway's Universe, We Need to Talk, things of that nature. So, here we go.
There has been a whole lot of talk about the possibility of me making a comeback to boxing. And people have had a lot to say, but I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? And I promise you, I'm going to give you that answer. But first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative that's been created years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable dragging my name and even using my father's name to get attention and clout. Now, in case you haven't heard it, her story is that I didn't support her and I didn't pass the torch because of my jealousy and envy over her accomplishments in boxing. She says that I disrespected her and I started talking about knocking her out simply because I was bitter that she's outdone me. I've seen a lot of the comments. Many of you have good discernment and understand what's really going on here, while others have believed her lies over the years or have formed an opinion without having all the facts. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to give this my time or attention because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
That's not going to happen.
Come on now, listen. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
no, come on, we ain't going to do that.
No, that is right.
Come on, Laila.
This is for $1 million worth of game.
And Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she would have knocked Laila so pretty out.
So this right here is the consequence. Now let's hit rewind because we really need to see what's happened over the years, what got us here. Now I'm not about to do the whole he say, she say thing, so let me show you some receipts. I first met her in 2012 when she was invited on stage to stand next to me when I gave my father his Liberty Medal. At some point, she reached out, started asking me for advice, wanted to know if she should go to the Olympics the second time or go pro. She would also call me and let me know when she was fighting. I was one of the hosts of We Need to Talk, an all-female sports commentary show that still airs on CBS. I asked the producers if we could do a story on her. They agreed. So I got on a plane, flew to Colorado, and did a full sit-down interview with her. I know that when I was fighting, any of my struggles that I had to overcome or anything that I was upset about, whether it be something personal or something going on in the world, I would use that anger, and take it into the ring with me and channel that energy into the ring. Have you ever done that?
I did that a lot. I was going through stuff back at home.
Okay, we can stop, Andy. So first up, I like that Laila pulled out the receipts, right? That she showed the history and the past of them, of her basically acknowledging Claressa and being a mentor, trying to showcase her on her platform that she had at the time, being what Claressa says that she wanted to see from her. A mentor, someone that can give her the game, having been there. But Claressa then flipped it and basically has made it out that Laila's jealous, which she alluded to, and we've seen some of it in the interviews. Now, I'm halfway split if I believe that some of this isn't just because, hey, I'm a boxer, so I'm going to talk mess. Not really a lot of opponents out there. I'm keeping myself in the mix, right? She says later, she showcases how she told Claressa, she being Laila, that building your brand is going to be one of the biggest things. Laila said in several interviews, including The Breakfast Club and Sway's Universe, some of which we'll play, that she told her, you have the opportunity to go further than me. But Laila also countered with, if somebody says to me, I can beat you, what you think I'm going to say? I'm skilled. I've been doing this. I got the same ego like you do, right? Okay, so we can let it go.
I had to overcome, or anything that I was upset about, whether it be something personal or something going on in the world, I would use that anger, and take it into the ring with me and channel that energy into the ring. Have you ever done that?
I did that a lot. I was going through stuff back at home, but I would have a boxing match and I would take out everything I was going through on the girl, and that kind of helped me.
Now, as you can see, I was genuinely rooting for her. I gave her praise. I gave her a spotlight. When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her about the challenges that I faced fighting at 168, where there was limited competition, and I suggested that if she decided to turn pro, she should consider going somewhere around 148 where she would have more competitive challenges. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off that excess body fat, and get into elite next level shape. I pointed her in the right direction, and I had high hopes for her. Whether she decided to turn pro or not, I felt like her future was bright if she played her cards right. But of course, at the time, I was not aware of her divisive, vindictive, and malicious nature. And I know those are strong words, but they actually fit. This girl has created a pattern. It's been directed towards many people time and time again. She saw me as the face of women's boxing, and she told me that she wanted my spot. And she's been on a mission to ruin my reputation ever since, simply because she heard me make a comment that was not about her, and she took it personal.
You ever get back in the ring just for fun?
You still train?
I stay training.
Got you.
Yeah, I got a little baby six-pack right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laila on the
I have a heavy
Breakfast
bag
Club.
hanging in my. I just turned 40.
This
Because
was
I
8
think of
years
my
ago.
healthy lifestyle, the fact that I train all the time, I could pretty much do anything I wanted to. Well, I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge. I'm not somebody who sits back and complains about things. I think everything happens in due time. You got Claressa Shields now, who's an Olympic champion. She's a young black girl, came out of Flint, Michigan, lived a hard life, went through a lot. She went to the Olympics, won twice. Women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics when I fought. She actually fights at the weight class I fought in. And she's doing great. Women's boxing is getting some good attention. Now remember, at the time, we were on good terms. She was reaching out to me and referring to me as Big Sis. But this was her response.
I watched the Breakfast Club video with Laila Ali. I have so much respect for her, and I like her. I actually call her my big sis, but it was so many shots thrown. Like, if y'all really paid attention, her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the number one in my... And, I'm just like, nah. And, I just feel like, she gave props where it's due, but, she also spoke on how, what I'm doing for women's boxing is great, but it's not great enough for her. And it's like, we got two different goals and sets in life. Me winning 2 Olympic gold medals is just the beginning. Even when she was boxing, she never fought on Showtime, HBO. I fought the main event on Showtime. I don't know how many times now.
Now, of course, I didn't respond to this, but I noted it. For someone who hardly had any experience as a professional.
So, to me, Yolanda's bored. To me, I feel like, one, Claressa heard what she wanted to hear, because Laila is talking about where she was in a different space. She was, Claressa, no matter how you feel, she was at a different place currently. She was retired. At that time, that was about 7 or 8 years ago, that Breakfast Club appearance, because Laila's 47 now. She was 40 and had been retired at that point over a decade. What are we talking about here? Do you know what I mean? What are we really talking about? In the chat, Maurice Guy says it's the same way Ali did Joe Frazier. Morris Phillips echoes that point, says just like her father, the Alis speak with great articulation, don't you think? Of course they do. But I think Claressa, one, misheard. Two, I think that she is, she wants to prove herself. She wants to be the one. It's not just about winning with Claressa. It is about gaining the respect or the audience she feels she deserves and she has coveted. Girl, you have a whole movie with Ryan Destiny playing you that came out last year. Why is this your focus? I don't know. Andy?
I mean, as an athlete, you definitely do want to go against the greatest.
Right.
So she's really poking the bear. It's kind of like Kendrick Lamar when he dropped his verse on Control. He wanted the smoke from any rapper, you know what I'm saying?
But and maybe Claressa has a real reason, right? But right now it just kind of seems like you really, really want to fight a woman that retired 20 years ago.
Laila Ali is probably, in her opinion, probably the standard. She wants that opportunity so she can feel like
but
she's the GOAT.
But you can't, because you're not fighting Laila Ali in her prime. You're fighting and here's the thing. I am not doubting that Laila is in shape, ready to go. You know, maybe she could put the paws on you, right? Like an old Mike Tyson is still Mike Tyson, right? But having said that, respectfully, if I'm trying to win and I'm competitive, right? I don't care about beating the old version of you. I want to beat the best version of you, right? I don't want to go against you with a handicap, because I'm going to let you know your best ain't my best. And I want your best so that there's no misunderstandings about it. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The Supreme Court heard arguments Wednesday on whether Louisiana's new congressional map, which adds a second majority black district, is constitutional.
If struck down, Louisiana could lose its 2 majority black congressional districts.
Black voters sued over the old map, saying it diluted their voting power, while the state's attorney general argues the Voting Rights Act's ban on racial discrimination in redistricting is itself unconstitutional. House Speaker Mike Johnson has agreed to debate Black House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries only after the government reopens, accusing the Democratic leader of political theater and making absurd remarks. And police are reviewing home surveillance footage in the death investigation linked to black singer David. 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found dead last month in a Tesla belonging to the artist, whose real name is David Burke, near his Hollywood Hills home. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
West LA on that southbound side of the 405. It's a slow drive all the way from Sunset Boulevard towards Palo Verde and Long Beach. The northbound side of the 405, this is where things get really slow. We're looking at delays out of Irvine from Irvine Center Drive. You're on the brakes in stretches all the way back to the 5 merge into Sylmar. Also in Pasadena, that 210 eastbound loading up from Mountain all the way to Foothill Boulevard, ahead in Upland from Baseline all the way to Rialto.
Escape the confines of the city for the expansive beauty of the Santa Ynez Valley with a short 2-hour drive up the coast. Let Chumash Casino Resort be your destination getaway. Welcome to freedom. Go to chumashcasino.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Week 7 of the NFL regular season begins tonight with the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. You need to be a Prime Video subscriber to watch the game at home. Pittsburgh coach Mike Tomlin, one of 5 African-American head coaches in the NFL, is 4-1. Tampa Bay's Todd Bowles is 5-1. He's in first place in the NFC South Division. The one coach among the 5 that needs a win in the worst way is Aaron Glenn of the New York Jets. The Jets are 0-6 in Glenn's first season with the team. The Jets are at home Sunday against Carolina. Show some love for Glenn this weekend. He could use it. We are 9 days away from the first ever HBCU football game in Las Vegas, Jackson State versus Grambling, Saturday, October 25th at Allegiant Stadium, home field of the NFL Las Vegas Raiders. If you're thinking about going, check for tickets at Ticketmaster.com. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Here come the drums. At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Let's go. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're rocking with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Paula Abdul, the OG Laker girl. Listen, her first album was a bop. And, you know, Paula dated Arsenio. She dated Marlon Jackson, I believe. She had a little roster in the 80s. Shout out to Paula Abdul. All right, listen. Before we get back into these trending topics and headlines, biased opinion, do you have anything you want to add to this before we take these phone calls?
I just want to say that Claressa should have had more respect for Laila Ali. And we should all have considered the fact how young she was when all this happened. She's only 30 right now. So when she got offended, she was just only 22 years old. So she needs a little grace for that. Now I just think she's trying to stir the pot for the money, because she said she was trying to drum up the $13 million. So of course that would be her biggest payday. And of course, where else could she get a payday like that from besides an Ali? You know, regardless of the past, she's still Laila Ali, the daughter of the greatest of all time.
Well, boom, boom, bam. All right, so we have Bobby from downtown L.A. on the line. Bobby, welcome in. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, Jill, how are you? This is Bobby Williams. I just want to thank you for giving me that shout-out a couple of weeks ago.
Well, thank
And I
you,
wanna thank
Bobby,
Tavis
because, yeah, thank you. I appreciate you.
And I want to thank Tavis for answering my letter. And yes, 30 years ago, I was at the Million Man March. I got there at 8 o'clock in the morning. I talked to a lot of black men there. Your boss, Tavis, walked right past me. I registered to vote. And it was probably one of Farrakhan's greatest speeches, because it could have been to any group of black men. And I never forgot it. And I left there wanting to be a better person, to get along with people better than what I was. And 30 years goes by real fast. It really does. I'm 59 now, and I'm a disabled veteran, but it goes by real fast.
Let me ask you, do you think that we could have another one in 2025 and it would be the same type of turnout and response and inspiration as it was for you back then?
Yeah, yes. I think it'd be bigger and better.
Okay.
I think us as black men, we're doing the best we can. We do the best we can out here.
Even with the administration that we currently have?
Yeah, we could do another him.
Okay.
Even though he's not the greatest president in the world, but I did not vote for him, but hey, other people did. You know, that's who I blame for putting him in the White House.
Indeed.
But,
and you were giving Andy his flowers?
No, I was telling Andy I'm a huge wrestling fan, too.
I
took it hard when Hulk Hogan died. Years ago, the Ultimate Warrior died. I took it hard, too. So, but keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate you, Bobby. We appreciate you listening, reaching out, all of that. Thank you so much for taking the time.
You have a good day. You take care.
You too. All right. Shout out to Bobby Williams, man. Now, it is 6:40, a little early, but still on time. Shout out to Eric Williams. I mean, not Eric Williams. Eric from Carson. Welcome in, Eric. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, Jill and Yolanda. How you guys doing?
We're great. Oh, well, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Eric? Good to hear from you.
Good. Likewise. I just want to say that in regards to Laila Ali, she's a beautiful woman, and she, you know, did her father proud. But I just want to say that Muhammad Ali was known for his trash talk. Now, it's out of my generation. It was my dad's generation. But he created hype for his fights, rhymes, and personal insults, and his whole objective was to get under the skin of his opponents to be able to win his fights, which was about money. So I kind of feel like, even though I feel what Laila is saying, how the support she gave for this girl, she could just say, this is what my father was branded by, and I am not going to sit here and take it personal. You know, she could have just kind of made a joke out of it and tied it into what her dad did.
I mean, I feel like she did do that, though. She hasn't really responded to this, and she's been asked a number of times. But I also think that it is important to point out that Ali was clever. He was funny. He was amusing when he delivered his bits. It was entertaining. It had a flair to it. Claressa ain't that. And I don't mean it like that. Talk your trash. But what I'm saying is be real. Things land differently if they are more entertaining or if they're funny or if people think the person has a certain je ne sais quoi, right? The problem with Claressa, to me, it's not that she's talking mess, because like I said from the very beginning, that's what a fighter does. And Laila even alluded to it in her speech. It's that, one, you're not being realistic about this fight. I get it, yes for money. And two, I think the root of it, the other side of it, is about aesthetics. And that is something that you got to reach down deep in yourself and deal with. Andy, Eric,
well,
who's talking?
Sorry, let me know.
No, I was just curious to know, do you think that maybe Laila Ali being a little bit more pristine, outside of the aesthetics, like, Claressa comes from the hood, she comes from the street, so she, she's rough around the edges. Laila Ali's a little bit more,
she's polished.
She's polished or whatnot. Do you think maybe there's a little variable in that too? Like she could be jealous of her.
But that's what I'm
properness?
saying. When I say aesthetics, I'm talking about it all. I'm talking about the way that Laila presents. I'm not just talking about that she's in, for most people, a universally attractive woman. That's one part of it, but she is, a classic beauty. She speaks well. Someone looks at her and automatically says she's classy, even though her sport of choice is very much rough and tumble. Like, pretty ladies don't box, right? In theory. So I think that it is just the package that she puts forth. That's why I didn't just say, oh, because she thinks she looks better, or oh, she's light-skinned. It's not just the fact of one-to-one, because, attractiveness is subjective. To me, it is just the whole package and presentation of it that she is, kind of brustling up against. But, and the other part of that to me is that, but I feel like Claressa, to a degree, maybe not the classy side, but Claressa wants to be considered a hot girl. And I feel like that's very, very obvious. She wants the kind of hot girl attention.
Well, I think that her man is putting her in that direction. She's got a rap song now. She's on the rap show.
You think he's pushing that? I think it's a little of both. I think for him, and sorry to interrupt, I think for him, it is a little get back, little shots at Remy, because he feels like Remy made him look foolish. So he's trying with his younger girlfriend.
Yeah, his girlfriend, she is young.
But I also think that Claressa, right, this is the most attention that Claressa Shields has gotten, keeping in mind she's a 2-time gold medalist and has won all these, fights, and had a film that dropped, off about her in December that No Shade, No Tea, good film, but didn't do well commercially. Do you see what I'm saying? She doesn't get the same attention and focus and the same type of reverence that Laila Ali does, and I think it impacts her.
Because nobody's watching women's boxing, though. I think that's one of the
things.
And
even less people were watching when Laila was, but she got hype off of
her name,
and that she is arguably attractive.
Well,
it's the same thing with Alicia Bromberger. Not like that. Not saying Alicia can't
maybe
fight,
she should go to MMA. I don't know.
She could.
To our conversation last week, we were talking about how people are doing all these different things. So she's just throwing something up against the wall and see what's going to stick. I'm a box. I'm a rap. I'm a promote jewelry. I'm going to get a shoe line for girls with big feet. I don't know. Just whatever.
But in order to do all of that, right? Again, she's not hecka funny with her reads or her delivery or the stuff she's saying. And she's not polished. So right now, other than, girl, you are a great boxer, what is the audience here for?
I'll say this. At this point, if Laila was to come out of retirement and accept the fight between her and Claressa, I'd tune in.
Of course, we'd all tune in because it's been a trash talk thing. But would we tune in as spectacle or expecting to see real sport?
It's always the train wreck. At this point, it's always the train wreck. Everybody wants to see it.
Like, did people, I still wonder what people thought they were going to see with Tyson and Jake Paul. Now, while I don't think that, was it Jake or the other?
It was Jake.
Okay. Now, I don't think that Jake could have knocked Mike out. He might have done a little bit more, right? He's older. I don't know. But the point is, we know we weren't getting to see a top-notch competition. Shout out to Tony Yayo in the chat. He hit my Alicia Baumgardner comment before I got to it. He says she gets hot girl attention and she's not the greatest boxer, but she got a Netflix opportunity. So you get what I'm saying. Like, in the real world of marketing, right, nobody's disputing what Claressa can do inside the ring. But outside, you want to keep and hold our attention. And babes, I don't know. You're not giving us much to work with but foolishness.
But foolishness is the main course of the day.
It is, but here's the thing. I'm not saying it's not the point of getting attention. We see Ray J trading in that all of the time. But what I am saying is if you take that route, but what you really want is respect and admiration, you're going to feel empty at the end of everything. When we come forward, more trending topics and headlines.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Established in 2020 during a time of deep racial unrest across our state and country, the Black Freedom Fund was created to make sure that leaders and organizations working to support Black communities and build power have the resources they need to stay in the fight for the long haul. We believe that those closest to the issues impacting our communities know best how to solve them. That's why in just the last 5 years, we've granted more than $45 million to over 200 grassroots organizations across California. That is the largest collective investment in Black organizing in history, and we're just getting started. We are clear-eyed and committed, more now than ever, to our people, our power, and our possibility. Join us in creating a future where Black people harness their full power to shape their lives and realize a just world for all. Learn more at fundblackfreedom.org. That's fundblackfreedom.org. The Black Freedom Fund is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580. Open enrollment is your opportunity to choose a plan that connects you to Providence's comprehensive healthcare network. Choose a plan that includes Providence and gain access to a dedicated team of highly trained primary care physicians and specialists. From nationally recognized doctors and hospitals, Providence ensures quality care is always within reach. When you choose Providence, you choose after-hours care through our nurse advice line, urgent care, or virtual express care. You choose 24/7 access through the Providence mobile app to message providers, request prescription refills, schedule appointments, check lab results, and more. This open enrollment, prioritize your well-being with the peace of mind that comes from choosing a provider that values excellence and compassionate care. Don't just choose a plan. Choose a plan dedicated to health equity and community engagement. Choose a plan that believes health is a human right. Choose a plan that delivers exceptional care and cares about your community. Choose a plan that offers Providence. Visit chooseprovidence.org to learn more.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Okay, so we are going to kind of speed through this, but I think it's important we talk about it. Momma Dee and Scrappy, of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta fame. Scrappy, what was Scrappy's single? I can't remember the lead, the one that dropped back in the day with the money counter. And
No Problems. Oh, Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, Shorty, what you
don't
think?
want no problems.
And No Problems. Yeah, No Problems is what I was thinking of, right? Shout out to Lil Scrappy. Just Scrappy now. Big Scrappy. So when he was little Scrappy, though, right, his mother, Momma Dee, was a pimp, a woman who, kept a house of ill repute at the time period. And she and Scrappy were recently on one of Nick Cannon's mini jobs and podcasts. And they were speaking about his 14th birthday party where Momma Dee had strippers come in to entertain the young boys. Now, one of the conversations that I've had with Yolanda, we were talking about this earlier, and just in general over the course of life, is that young men are often sexualized at an early age, but it's not thought of as them being taken advantage of, them being groomed, unless it's another man, or that they have been coerced or any of those things. It's thought as men being men and being shown how to be men, rightfully so, no matter if they're under 18 or not, right? Young men were always encouraged and expected to have sexual experience at a young age, but those same young girls were not. My question would always be, well, who are those guys getting their experience with, right? And so, yeah, let's listen to what Momma Dee had to say and what Scrappy had to say, and then we're going to listen to Momma Dee's defense of what she said happened. So let's
I was 14 or something like that, and she, so I had a full-blown party, and we in the hood.
Right. Okay.
Full-blown, everybody came, because they, we popular in the hood,
And then I had
the... She had the... Hold on. Mom.
Okay, go ahead, you tell.
Man, mama said, hey, come on, let's get it started.
Blew the whistle.
Boom.
Put the girls out. How about they went and got their parents?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cause we had
the little girls.
My mama had,
now the young teenagers.
My mama had strippers in them.
Right. Yeah.
For my 14th birthday.
Got rid of the school girls and brought the real ladies in.
Exactly.
The grown women.
The grown women. And everybody came back to the door. All the mamas came back like, hold on.
Come get some. I stood my ground 10 toes down.
She was like, this my house though.
This is my house. We're going in my house.
If you got a son in here that don't need to be in here, please take him out.
Please call him out. But we can get up out of here.
Well, yeah, we're going to do
we doing some things. Because
and then look, and then when she left, all the girls came back and we continued the party.
So that's what Momma Dee and Scrappy had to say. Scrappy went on to say he was traumatized, but Momma Dee says he actually wasn't. Here's what she had to say in response.
The people that came for me, well, her son said she was traumatized. Scrappy used the wrong word. Scrappy don't know what traumatized. Ask him to define the difference. I dare you to ask him. He don't need no definition. Hell, how many of us were traumatized when we got our ass whooped by a belt by our parents? Am I clear? Was you traumatized when they held one arm and swooped your ass with their belt? I'm traumatized. I'm still traumatized. But hell, guess what? Life moves on. Life goes on. And for people that are trying to be critical, that did not give me 5 cents for my kids, never stayed up at night and took them to the emergency room. How dare you? How dare you say anything about Momma Dee and my son? So Scrappy said, he was like, I said, Scrappy, what you mean by traumatized? He said, Ma, I just believe you would bring dancers in my I say 15, but you gonna stick with his 14, into my birthday party. Yeah, because I teached him how to be a boy. I wanted a boy. Okay? I have a shout out to my LGBTQ plus family. My grandson is gay. I love him dearly. But that's his life. And he know he's loved. We support him. And we guide him straight. Don't mess with all these young men. You don't know what they got. We do that. And we tell them, now go out into the world. So we tell them. We teach them. That's how we do. We don't put them down.
All right, so a lot of people would agree with Momma Dee, perhaps, on her reasoning and what she tried to do with that mythology, questionable. But, I mean, we also come from a generation, right, where Scrappy grew up. Scrappy, I believe, is Gen X, maybe late millennial. Don't talk about it. Keep what goes on in the family, in the family. We know that some people have some wild things. That's just what they did. And like she said, they just get over it. We know that this new generation is very much, let's talk about our feelings. Let's examine it. Let's look at it. I'm uncomfortable. So you need to know that I'm uncomfortable, and you need to change your behavior because I'm uncomfortable. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I think you need to suck it up. Yolanda, what are your thoughts? Quick.
I just think that your mother, and it seems like he didn't have a father in the home, she was his guiding force. And a lot of the decisions that we've seen him make over his life on reality television are directly because his mother did this. It's directly connected, and it's not right.
To the environment.
You're not going to give your son a grown woman to stop him from being a homosexual. If he was going to be homosexual and he liked men, regardless if he had 100 women. They could have been 100 Janet Jacksons, 100 Nia Longs, 100 whoever's. If he likes men, he likes men. So her reasoning is crazy. Her saying people didn't hear. You were a mother. You had to take your kids to the emergency room. That was your motherly duty. You had to feed your kids. Nobody owes you to pay for your kids. You laid down, you had them. But to sit up and try to justify bringing grown women, and not just grown women, strippers who probably been around God knows who. Oh, that's just all wrong. It's just wrong.
Crazy to me. Listen, thank you guys for locking in. We'll get into that Killer Mike and Ice Cube tomorrow, because I know you'll be back like you are every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. with me, Jill Munroe. Coming up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Check out Yolanda at The Biased Opinion on Instagram. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.
Bye, y'all.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. New York City is creating a new NYPD unit to tackle rising domestic violence cases. Black Mayor Eric Adams says the 450-member team will focus solely on investigations, officer training, and survivor support.
Domestic violence, gender-based violence continues to cause pain in our society.
Reported domestic violence incidents are up 41% since 2020. Sean Diddy Combs will enter mental health, drug treatment, and domestic violence programs after serving his 50-month prison sentence. Court documents show the 55-year-old must continue treatment started in prison and take prescribed medication unless advised otherwise.